talent you have. See, listen to this. Why is that unfair advantage? If I was born of a twin we have in the same womb, we don't have the same talent. Hello? Go and check anybody that the hemisphere and a reference to. Somebody is better than the other. Go and check Peter and Paul. Are they still reasonable together? No. Like, separately now. Are they reasonable separately? No, wait. Let's do a practical example. You know P square. Yes. When they were together, you know them. They are reasonable. Now they split them. Who is more reasonable than the other? Why? Sir, it's just someone is less glory. Now listen to this. Somebody is now doing better than the other when they are separate. That means that somebody has an advantage over the other. Am I making any sense at all here? Now, your advantage has to do with what the talent you have that makes you better than the next. Number 4. I'm sorry, I'm too fast. Knowledge. I'm sorry, I'm using the same scripture. The scripture said, in what that get what? Wisdom is the principal thing. Am I right? And he now said, in your getting, get what? So please, you need it. Let me say it like this. I don't know will not carry you anywhere. And you don't know anything. Listen, I was reading something about Bruce Lee, and he said something. He said, if you must excel and get a new knowledge, he said, it's just as if holding a cup, and you need more of water. He said, the next thing you do is what? Empty that cup and refill it. So whatever that can make you have a hedge and unfair advantage is what? Number 4 is what? The knowledge you have. Get them. Read books. I personally made it a custom that I must buy a new book every month. So by the end of 12 of a year, I must have read at least 12 books. If you have a personal library, raise your hand. If you have a personal library, raise your hand. Now, listen. What you are doing might not make sense. But I'm telling you, you are getting or you are gathering everything you need to succeed in life. So, number 4 things you need to make up an unfair advantage is what? Knowledge. You just have to get it. Listen, knowledge is what makes you speak and others keep quiet. Hello? Listen, I'm just looking at a point and someone said, please let him talk. I think he has the content. So the number 4 thing that will give you an edge in life is what? The knowledge. Number 5, character. Number 5, character. Now listen. Let me say this to you. I must be very frank with this. Your character to a large extent will affect your life. See, listen. Your Bible said this, Bible said this, your Bible said so one. Go and complete that. Now, the moment you don't have a character, have you noticed that some people, the only thing that gave them success, that gave them edge in life, is just a character they exhibited. I think I heard about someone lately, and he said this young man wanted to study law, and he has been looking for law and everything, and UI. Then this very afternoon, he came to the pastor, and the pastor said, he told his pastor, he said, sir, Daddy, I wanted law, but I didn't meet up to cut off for jam. What can I do? And I wanted UI. Then the pastor said, just keep trying. Lo and behold, this very afternoon, this guy was going to UI. He met a man on the road, trying to fix his tire. The man had a pot belly, and he would not even bend down with his pot belly. And he stopped. He was in the bus. He stopped. He got down, he helped the man and every other thing. And the man gave him, he said, no, I didn't do this for money. And he now said, where are you going? The man said, where are you going? He said, I'm going to UI. The man said, okay, let me just give you a ride then. So while they were moving, the man asked this young man, he said, what do you want? He said, I wanted to study law and I'm going to UI to see if I can just get a connection. And the man now said, okay, when you get to UI, go to faculty of law, ask for the dean. Tell them you want to see the dean. The guy said, okay. So when they got to the school gate, the man dropped him, wrote him, and this young man found his way to the faculty of law. When he got there, he got to the office and he said, we want to see the dean. They were like, this is small boy, why do you want to see? He said, no, I want to see the dean. Then the second he called the dean and said, somebody wants to see you. The man said, okay, let him come in. Lo and behold, he entered to drink of it. It was the same man he had 2 minutes ago. Sir, what he had there, hello, is the guardian of law today. It was not his knowledge. No, look at it though, let's look at it. It was not knowledge, it was not skill, it was not what? It is not even knowledge. It's not, what brought him there? I can tell you that there are thousands of people who wrote the same UTME that year, who is worthy to be admitted, but they never got admitted. But one person got admitted because of what? So tell me, what else do you want to be among this list? The only thing that gives him an edge is character. Let me give you a story of a very close uncle. He went to Lagos for an interview. An oil company in Lagos. And they packed them in a big hole like this, waiting for interview. There's a very small tap somewhere running here, like a sink like that. Then the water was dripping. They waited for about an hour. Then the guy stood up and said, "Why is this place leaking?" Then he went there, closed the tap, and came to sit down. Then 2 minutes later, the chairman came in and said, "I know we have hired the person we wanted." And he said, "Because you have shown a sense of responsibility by closing that tap, you are hereby employed." Are we seeing a dimension in these things? So the list I'm making now, there's virtually nothing you have to leave behind. So while you're getting your experience, get the skill, make your talent function, get the knowledge, please build characters. And lastly, number 6, you need connections. You need connections. When I mean connection, I don't mean influence. No. I'm asking you, you need to know people and meet people. Hello? No, let's be frank about this. Nigeria is a country where you need people to get somewhere. That's the truth. But when I mean connections, can you work with people? See, Stephen is calling a program and he said, "Don't want anything, but let him do it." Can you just walk and say, can you just kill your head and say, "Stephen, I heard you want to do this thing. What can I do for you?" See, listen, you are not doing it for him, you are doing it for yourself. Because on the long run, those things will come back telling you. Build connections. One of the reasons why Stephen had me here today was because we had connections. No, that's the truth. So one of the best things you can do to is, after such a program like this, go to programs, meet people. Now, let me tell you a very funny experience I had here in Abeokuta. Who knows Mr. Wale Oke? A renowned public speaker. Who knows him? Okay, you don't know him. Only the man and the host. They were in Abeokuta. I'm talking about 2014. And after the program, I was so happy to see him for the very first time. And I walked up to him. I said, "Sir," and he did like this, "How are you?" I felt embarrassed, and I left. Exactly about 2 months after, there was another program here in Obasanjo Library. I went to the program and it was awesome. Then while we were having an interactive section, they asked a question. I stood up and I answered, and there was an applause every other time. I went back to my seat. And after the program, the same man walked up and said, "Young man, what is your name?" And I looked at him and said, "Shaking no Sheba." No, I can't do it. But one thing that had kept me functioning then was what? I had to establish a connection with him. See, you need people to go on. See, I must tell you, success comes from God through men to men. God will not jump out down from heaven and say, "Come, let me help you." No. Please note these things. Success, the greatness you are waiting for, comes through God. Come from God, rather. From God through men to what? To men. When God was going to help Joseph in the scriptures, he didn't come down. And listen, let me tell you why it comes from God. I'm sorry, I don't want to sound too spiritual. Let me give you a point of this. Please listen to this part. Listen to this. If anybody was going to help Joseph out of the prison then, what would they do? Please, I need somebody to answer this question. If you were in position to help Joseph in the prison, what would have done to him? I need someone to answer. If you were in a position to help Joseph while he was in prison, what would have done to him? Secondly, then return him to his father's house, right? Now, if you have done that, would he become a prime minister later? Now, listen, when God is working for your purpose, he has a plan. So, God knows that Joseph does not need the help of man. What he needed was what? He needed a longer stay in the prison. So, the help that Joseph got came from God. What? Through what? Through man. And that's why he was remembered, because he interpreted a dream. Am I talking to somebody here at all? So, understand that connection is important. Build it. See, don't look down on anybody except you love their shoes. In fact, you can even look down on me, but I'm sure you won't like my shoes. The point of why I'm making here is, please, don't look down on anybody. Anybody can help you. Now, the dumbest person in class, I'm telling you, tomorrow, he might be the next employer. These are revelations, priorities were revelations, that you must understand as an undergraduate. That before you step into that market, I don't call it labor market, I call it favor market. So before you step into that market, get this list of things that will give an advantage over the next person. I think 5 years ago, there was a program same here. I think I was speaking on the word of unequal opportunities during Gideon sets. Now, the point is this: the world we have today has unequal opportunities. But what you have to do to yourself is to get something that will lift you above others, or else you will remain in the lowest progress of life. You can't afford to be in an entity waiting to be reviewed. No. So this is the best time you can get them. So let's move very fast. I think I talked about 3 things that makes up your share advantage. Now let me talk about 3 things that you need to get your unfair advantage on track. I'm going to mention 3 things. Number 1, you need a morale. M-O-R-A-L-E. Morale. You need your morale. You need momentum. And number 3, you need motivation. 3 M's. M-M-M. You need morale. You need momentum. And you need what? Motivation. Now let's get this thing straight. When I say morale, what does that mean to you? It's something that inspires you, right? If you look at the 3, they look so synonymous. Am I right? But they're not. They're not the same. Now listen to this. Your morale is that thing that should spring from your past. Hello? Morale is something that should come from behind your past. Now listen, not those things I'm going to say now. The past is the best place to visit, but a bad place to stay. Now, your past, that leads you back to your experiences. That leads you back to your experiences. So you need the morale. The morale comes from what you have experienced so far, where you are coming from. Now, those things that would make up your advantage has to come from 1 or 2 things you have seen, experienced, or situations you have been before. Now listen, I'll connect the dots now. Momentum, it means the present. Momentum. Now, like instantly. Let me read what I have here for you. I said momentum comes from present. It means that certain things you are working on and you are moving forward with. Now, listen. The momentum is something that comes instantly. Let me give you an analysis. Your morale. Listen to this. Everybody in your family, your sisters has gone to school and you want to go to school. That's a good morale. Number 1. Now, probably you have a vision for your life. That's a good morale. Now, number 2, what leads to the momentum is what? What can I do now that will bring... Now, listen to this. Momentum is just in the middle. What you are doing now that brings success to what you have done in the past and create a future for you. Are we together? Now, when you have a morale, something that pulls you up, that steers you up, then a momentum, the present effects. Then the last thing is what? Motivation. That's what keeps you going. I'm sure you have listened to Victoria's motivation. I'm sure you will not listen. If it's Sophie, you have listened to Sophie, then not is your motivation. Now listen, if you have listened to that track, Motivation by Victor A.D. and I think Eric or something, he said my biggest motivation are those, I think he said, I don't know, who should help me? Someone should help me, DJ please. I don't know, did you have an idea what I'm talking about? Motivation.
By
yeah,
Victor
do you know that track? It's a track by Victor A.D. and Erika. Do you know the song? What's the content? Do you know the lyrics of the song? No. Wow. Please go and download that. Leave Sophie and the left away of the thing. They're not moving us anywhere. Now, the content of that song was something that he said, his own biggest motivation are people who think he cannot make it. Now, what I'm saying here is this. You have 3 M's. The morale, the momentum, now, the effect of today that leads to tomorrow. And you need a motivation to keep going. Are we talking to anybody at all here? Now, these are the 3 basic things you need to consider. Now, how do you harness your peer advantage? I talked about the contents of your key advantages. Am I right? And I talked about 3 things that